Alright, so maybe the title is a little bit misleading. I bought these active noise cancelling Bluetooth headphones on Amazon for $50, but they are regularly priced at $70. But even then, they're still an incredible value. These are the TaoTronics SoundSurge 60s. On Amazon here in Canada, they typically sell for $70, but I grabbed them on a lightning deal for $55. Combine that with a special Amazon.ca gift cards promotion, and they only cost me $50. I picked these out for a number of reasons. 1, they look pretty stealthy in this matte black colorway. 2, because they have active noise cancellation, and 3, because they are hella cheap. Over-ear active noise cancelling cans like these can retail for up to $500 where I live in Canada. First impressions last a lifetime, and the first impressions I got from these headphones were actually pretty amazing. The build quality is honestly similar to a pair of $400 Beats that I own, and the matte black color looks amazing in person. There is minimal branding with a bit of glossy plastic on both ear cups, and the metal ratcheting headband is pretty solid. The foam around the ear cup is plenty plush, although the foam around the headband leaves a little bit to be desired. Over longer listening periods, it can get a little uncomfortable for me on the top of my head, but that mostly just depends on the shape of your skull. Another great thing about comfort with these is that they fold flat in case you're wearing them around your neck or putting them down on the table. A highly underrated feature in my opinion. Now, these headphones are pretty big. They are not compact by any means, but they do fold up quite nicely to fit in this hard shell carrying case, which I have to say makes them a lot more portable than they otherwise would be. There's space for the headphones, and there's a small pouch on the underside of the top of the case to store the included aux and micro USB cables. Yes, that does mean that these headphones charge over micro USB instead of the more modern USB-C, but honestly, with the included fast charging and the price, I'm not too worried about it. Pairing this pair of headphones with your device is pretty straightforward. They feature the latest Bluetooth 5.0 for reduced latency, which does have a positive real-world benefit. Audio is pretty well in sync with whatever you're watching, and I haven't had any problems there. The one gripe I do have is that whenever the headphones connect to a device, the internal automated voice just says, "Your phone is connected," instead of listing the name of the device that is connected. It's happened a couple of times where I'll start playing music on my phone expecting it to come through the headphones, but it turns out the headphones are connected to my laptop, which is open on a side table. Small complaint, but a clear cost-cutting measure by TaoTronics. Let's talk about the headlining feature here. That active noise cancellation I mentioned earlier. As you might have seen coming, these are not going to be as good as the Sony XM3s or Bose ANC 700s. Those Beats I mentioned earlier are the Beats Studio 3 in matte black of course, and the general consensus in the tech community is that their active noise cancellation is a little weaker than Bose or Sony's latest offerings, and I would say that the TaoTronics are roughly comparable to those. It is definitely a little bit worse though, but that doesn't mean the noise cancelling on these headphones is awful. They're very good at cutting out low resonant frequencies, but other ambient and directional sounds do penetrate the headphones a little more than they would on higher end models. Anyway, I took it out for a test drive in the most challenging place I could find, my school cafeteria. To be clear, a school cafeteria is not at all an ideal place to test active noise cancellation. As I mentioned, active noise cancellation is really good at blocking out lower resonant frequencies that are consistent in the environment, such as a loud fan or airplane engine noise. A cafeteria, meanwhile, has all sorts of yelling and echoing and craziness generally going on. In an environment like this, it's less of active noise cancellation and more of active noise quieting. Here's a quick simulation of what it was like in this environment. As I mentioned, that was not at all a great environment to test them in, but I wanted to push the active noise cancellation to its limits. In a much quieter classroom or home environment, they do great at eliminating general background noise and faraway conversations. I will be taking a plane trip early next year to go out west and film my 2020 skiing travel vlog, and I will definitely be making a video about how these hold up on a plane. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on Twitter so you don't miss that. Overall, not too bad in the ANC department, but definitely not high end. Let's move on to general sound quality. These headphones are definitely not balanced monitor style headphones, and the bass is a little more pronounced than usual here. Honestly though, it's a much more balanced experience than most other budget Bluetooth headphones, especially with active noise cancellation turned on. I would say that these are great for casual music and podcast listening, and actually, the reason I picked these up is to video edit on the go, which is why I wanted active noise cancellation. Since I EQ all of my audio live when I'm recording it, I don't have to worry about having a balanced soundstage when I'm editing the audio, because all I need to do is adjust the raw volume. When you're listening to those podcasts and music, you'll probably be interacting with the controls, which in my opinion are another strong point for this particular pair of Bluetooth headphones. The controls here are pretty tactile buttons, which I prefer over a touchpad style. Where I live, it's already well below 10 degrees Celsius, and a touchpad can start to register phantom touches in these sorts of environments. Back to the TaoTronics though, most of the controls are on the bottom of the right ear cup, so let's start there. There's a power button with a long press to turn on or off and a single press to play or pause your media. Right above that is the volume rocker up and down to change volume, and a long press up or down to skip tracks in either direction. Back below the power button is the aux input for the included 3.5mm cable for listening the old-fashioned way. And right above that is the active noise cancelling switch with a blue LED that indicates if ANC is turned on. Also on the right ear cup is the microphone, which is decent enough for phone calls, but I wouldn't use it for anything else. Meanwhile, over on the left ear cup is the micro USB port for charging and a charging indicator light. In terms of battery life, these headphones are pretty good for most people. It is claimed to have 30 hours of playback, but I've gotten much less than that, around 15 hours or so. I go through my day with active noise cancelling on and off here and there, so if you keep active noise cancelling on all the time, it will have a negative effect on battery life. Conversely, if you keep it off most of the time, you will be getting some pretty excellent battery performance. I haven't had any issues in the battery department, but if you do, TaoTronics has built in some of the fastest fast charging here, and the headphones can charge from empty to full battery in under 45 minutes. So overall then, what's the verdict on these headphones? Honestly, I would compare these headphones to a OnePlus phone. Premium features, but concessions in the right areas to bring the price significantly down. Yes, there's active noise cancellation, but it isn't as strong as the high-end competition, and there's no way to adjust its intensity. Yes, the build quality is pretty good with a nice, mostly matte finish, but it is all plastic except for the internal headband. Yes, the controls are pretty good, but there's no smart assistant summoning and the mic quality is mediocre. But in my opinion, these so-called missing features are completely acceptable at this price point. When these headphones come rolling in with 75% of the features of a higher end pair of noise cancelling headphones at under 15% of the price when I bought them, it's pretty clear to me that these are worth it. At this price, the fact that these are solidly built over-ear Bluetooth headphones is great, and the active noise cancellation, despite its mediocrity, is just a bonus. I would absolutely recommend these to anyone who just wants a decent pair of Bluetooth headphones, or even someone who wants to test out active noise cancellation before they go out and drop hundreds of dollars on a more premium pair. The price is low enough on these that this kind of stuff can be done. I would do some shopping around though, because TaoTronics has a very extensive and sometimes confusing lineup of Bluetooth headphones that are seemingly updated constantly. If you are interested in the TaoTronics SoundSurge 60s, you can check out the links below to buy these on Amazon in the US and Canada, and I'll also leave my website and Twitter account down there so you can follow me for updates, because I will definitely be doing a video in the future comparing these to a $30 and a $400 pair of Bluetooth headphones. Subscribe to stay tuned for that and other tech videos like this.